How's it going, everybody? It's Monkey coming back at you once again. And today we're going to be discussing Superman Fury at World's End by Scott Lobdell with art by Kenneth Rocafort. Let's get into it. We got Superman issue 0, where Superman watches on as his parents on Krypton are targeted by assassins who want to bring about the end of Krypton. Then we get into the crossover event itself, starting with Superman issue 13, where Superman battles an ancient Kryptonian dragon, while Hel, himself an ancient Kryptonian, watches on. Superman issue 14, Superman and Superboy team up, meeting for the first time to take on Hel. Superman issue 15, Superboy and Superman head to prison to pay Lex Luthor a visit, while Justice League enter the battle. Superman issue 16, Hel sets things in motion for the final battle here in this crossover event. And in the final issue, Superman issue 17, in a moment of weakness, Hel makes a mistake, costing him everything. Or does it? You're just going to have to read and find out. How will Superman, Superboy, and Supergirl get out of this one? And will there be far-reaching ramifications in the future? You know, I read these issues as part of the Hell on Earth event book. You technically can read this volume. There is a through line you can follow that may or may not be satisfactory to you, but the fact of the matter remains that these issues are best read as part of the event, and so you're going to be missing crucial issues. And sure, a lot of times in these events, the extended issues of the other titles just end up being like longer battles or whatever, and all the main stuff does go down in the Superman book, but you're better off reading the event book. And so this volume is going to suffer as a result of just being 1/3 of the events. Like I said, the best thing this volume does is, plant seeds. When Superman and Superboy go to pay Lex Luthor a visit in prison because they need to break into the Fortress of Solitude, so they're going to go ask an expert on Superman how he would break into the Fortress of Solitude. That sort of plants the seed of who is the human donor that's part of the clone of Superboy. We know it's Superman, and pre-New 52, it was Lex Luthor. So they tease that here. And it's pretty intriguing to see how that gets followed up on later on. But for right now, they just dangle the seed, and you kind of hang on to it, and you go, could it be? I don't know. Also, Kenneth Rocafort shines here on art. He has the best art in the crossover. I really enjoy his rendition of Supergirl. He draws all the characters great. There's a lot of two-page spreads throughout his issues where the action's going from here to there to back down to here. It's not typically traditional comics paneling, but it really works. Makes for a frenetic art that goes great with his style. That's sort of like really like I would describe as like pencil heavy, if that makes any sense. You got to see it. I'll put some examples up here, I'm sure, but it's different than anything you might see in traditional superhero comics. And at first, I didn't know if it would work, but then it got, action heavy, and you're like, I'm really enjoying this. So, good job, Kenneth Rocafort. It's no secret that the Superman title thus far in the New 52 has had its share of issues. We're on volume 3, and we're on our third writer. So at first, I was a little shaky at Scott Lobdell coming into the book. Some of his dialogue I felt didn't fit Superman as much as it would fit the teenage characters that he was already writing, and such as Superboy and the Teen Titans. But in the end, he won me over, and I have to keep in mind that here in the New 52, the characters of Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman, they're meant to be, de-aged and presented younger. So I guess maybe in that sense, Scott Lobdell understood the assignment, because his Superman does come across as more youthful when you're typically used to Superman being more wise and not necessarily elderly, but like the elder statesman of superheroes. So like I said, this volume is going to be really bogged down by the event. You can read it You'll probably get the gist of it, but you're better off reading the event book. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and give Superman Fury at World's End a 3 out of 5. The art really saves it, and that's that. Until next time, see you there.